You guys remember COVID? You remember that whole thing where people were wearing masks and whatnot?
Everywhere you went.
Everywhere you
In
went.
the shower, sure.
And you wore two sometimes. And everybody was making jokes about how many masks can you wear. And it was so funny. And now we're past that and we don't have to do it anymore. And everyone is pleased and everyone can move on with their lives. And we can remember how upset we were. We can all remember how upsetting it was and all the government overreach, and we never have to talk about it. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on here, Spike. Breaking news. Got my papers here. It seems as if In-N-Out Burger has just released a statement. Thankfully, this has nothing to do with COVID-19, and they say that employees are now being banned from wearing masks in 5 of the 7 states in which it operates restaurants, according to an internal memo leaked Friday. So I guess we're still dealing with COVID. I guess it didn't go away. I guess people didn't get vaccinated. I guess we're still, I mean, I fail to understand, one, why In-N-Out Burger is doing this outside of a really cheeky PR campaign, which I just find to be irritating. And then two, how wholly unnecessary this is, right? So a memo, a very nicely put together memo leaked, by the way. It doesn't look like a memo, right? It looks like a PR sheet. Let's be honest about this, Spike. Let's get real for a second. It's not an email that says, CC all employees. It is a very nice, professionally designed, graphics included memo which says, hey, listen, if you want to wear a mask on the premises, you have to show us a medical reason for doing so. Otherwise, we expect you to not wear a mask on premises because we like smiling faces in our business. This would have been cool. This would have been great news 2 years ago. Today, it is boring and conceited, and I have no patience for it. I say F- In-N-Out Burger. I love your food. It's amazing. This is cringe. This is unbelievably cringy to be like, oh, wait. This is like, I don't know, Spike. This is like, when the Carthaginians tried to invade Rome and they were beaten back, and then like that one Roman legion came out of nowhere and they were like, hey guys, we're here to fight off the Carthaginian barbarians. Where are they? We're ready to go at them right now. And everyone's like, they left like 6 months ago. They had elephants. They had it was crazy. They had trebuchets and like thousands of people died, but like we beat them. They're not here anymore. And then you go, darn it. Well, if we would have really given it to, I mean, you had your opportunity to yell and scream at the federal government over this issue. You had your opportunity. It was 2 years ago, and now you're pretending to be the hero by saying,
no. You know why they're doing this? Because masks are woke. And their customer base is offended by a young person working at a restaurant still wearing a mask. They're going to allow masks in California and Oregon,
right?
But in the other states where there's a more conservative customer base, they see these employees wearing masks and they find it resentful.
Nobody wears a mask in In-N-Out.
They do. They do. You know
nobody
what?
does.
They some of them still do. I do still see masks around.
I know why that is. I know why this is, though, right?
Are these people with immune compromised situations that could be getting sick?
No. What happened? The reason that you still see kids, young people walking around with masks is maybe 1 out of every 5 of them has some reason to wear a mask. The rest of them have bought into this Gen Z thing of needing to avoid all social contact and hide themselves as much as possible. Gen Z does not call people. This has been documented. It's kind of a weird phenomenon. Gen Z doesn't use their phone to call people because they get anxiety, right?
Right, they just text. Yeah.
Gen Z doesn't like to go to the store. They prefer to order things and have them shipped to them. The mask is another version. It's actually, I think, a sign of these kids being kind of deeply mentally ill.
Well, socially debilitated. I don't want to use the R word. It's the right word to use.
I mean, you could. Yeah, it's socially debilitated. So the level of social anxiety that they get is assuaged by the safety blanket of a surgical mask.
That's an excellent take.
And that's why they continue to do it, because you'll notice I saw these kids the other day. They were at Whole Foods They come in, they're wearing masks and sunglasses indoors. Why? So that no one has to read their facial expressions and they don't have to make eye contact with anybody. There's no reason for it's 80 degrees outside.
Right, they're not going to go
sunny.
sunblind. They're not going to catch anything. They're just being antisocial.
They're just being antisocial, right?
Wow.
And so that's the new thing with these kids is that they all coincidentally had dyed hair, by the way. I'm not going to attribute anything to that, but I'm just saying if you got pink hair, blue hair, and then you got platinum blonde hair, a bunch of young guys who, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do.
Where they're like skinny fat, they're like clearly out of shape, but they're still kind of fat. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
It's like they got that big old, but they're like skinny, but they got the belly. That's what I'm saying. That's what's going on with these kids. They're so socially anxious all the time that they are like, well, I can't go outside with my binky and my blanket, but I can go outside with this surgical mask and sunglasses on so that no one has to look at me and I can avoid all contact with other human beings.
Well, not at In-N-Out Burger because they want their associates' smiles and other facial features to be interacting with their customer base.
Again, this would have been great 2 years ago.
Gotcha.
Today, not so much. F-. This whole thing is a PR campaign to get people to talk about In-N-Out Burger, which I love. The last time I was in California, I was there for like 45 minutes, eating nonstop. It's fantastic food. Cringe nonetheless. I don't condone it, Mr. O'Neill.